So, hello, Buster and Deacon, and I believe we have Arnita and Maya with us as well. They're people.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. I see you have a very nice, tasty sprig of millet there to tempt them out of their cage.
Yes, the idea is that that way you guys could all get a better look at them. Deacon, although they were both just pretty active this morning, so now they're tired and taking a little nap. But eventually, that sprig of millet is going to work on him, I'm sure.
Yeah.
They have a lot of nice toys too. I see all the kinds of things that Linda was just talking about.
Yes, they love playing with all different toys, and we mix them up and we move them around. So it's always a little bit fresh for them.
So can you tell us who's who? I see one is mostly yellow and one is mostly gray with the cute yellow cockatiel face.
Yeah, so Deacon is the gray one, who's kind of in the middle, and Buster is the yellow one.
Did they come to Mickaboo as a pair, or are they matched up in your home?
Yeah, so I'll tell you a little bit about their background. So Deacon came to Mickaboo with a broken wing. The Mickaboo vets fixed him up, and then he was adopted in 2009. And sometime between then and when he was returned to Mickaboo in 2017, the family who had Deacon also got Buster. And so that family could no longer keep them. And so in 2017, they were both returned to Mickaboo as a bonded pair. And they really are a bonded pair. They were just adopted last July and were doing great in their new home. But unfortunately had to be returned in December because the family's home burned down. So we have been fostering them for about 2 months.
My goodness. So new in your home, but a long-term couple. We did have an audience question, should they be adopted together? And I think that's a resounding yes.
Definitely yes. Together. They love each other.
So, and here we have Bravery.
There he is. He's woken up from his nap.
So are they tame?
They can easily step onto objects, like we use like bowls and ladders. And they love to explore outside their cage. They will normally step onto our hand. They like to step onto our hand more when they're outside the cage than when they're inside. And they do like company, but sometimes they're not completely hand tamed, so sometimes they won't get on your hand. But we're making a lot of progress.
Well, I have to also, Maya's being a little modest. So we, when we got them 2 months ago, they were very shy, quiet, just kind of hanging in their cage. So we just gave them tons of space, and I would recommend this for their new family. Just give them a lot of time, a lot of space. They will eventually get used to you, but they need some time. And so we didn't put our hands in the cage, at anything that would potentially startle them. And it's just been 2 months now, but Maya's been working with them every single day, probably multiple times a day. And, now it's to the point where she can just freely put her hand in the cage. She can get them to step up onto her hand and then bring them out of the cage. In the morning, I'll go get my coffee, and she's already in Zoom school and has Buster sitting on her lap while she's doing her first morning meeting. So they are definitely tameable for sure. You just don't want to rush it.
Well, and that's what I have not achieved with my budgies. So hats off to you, Maya. It takes discipline. A lot of the things that foster what we think of as good behavior in the birds are actually really influenced by our behavior.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've also seen Maya's very confident with them, and I think that they really respond to that. Mm-hmm. If you're a little tenuous or you're like your hand's a little herky jerky, then they get nervous.
Sure, that makes sense. Yeah. If you think something's wrong or you're nervous, then
that's right.
Maybe there's something they should be nervous about too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Come on, Buster. You want to come out?
No thanks.
No,
I'll just
thanks.
watch.
I'll just watch.
So do they have favorite activities that they like to do each day?
Yeah, they love to play with their toys. They don't have really favorites. They just like them all. They love to come out and explore. They'll pretty much do anything for Millet. I think Deacon likes Millet a little bit more than Buster does. And he's a little bit more confident than Buster is. Buster's a little bit more shy. Yeah, they just like to be around others, and they're very fun.
Yeah, it's so fun to watch.
I think that I recall from speaking with you about these birds before that they really like showers too.
Oh my gosh, they
Yeah.
love their showers so much. Yeah, so we have a spray bottle. Well, we used to do it kind of, by hand. We had these this like kind of, by hand we would kind of spray them. But if you just spray them, which I'm just starting to do now, from above, and they just bask in the mist, and they'll eventually spread their wings, and sometimes they'll even they'll kind of fight each other, like to just get closer and closer to
get the best spot.
Exactly. So we have to keep moving it around so that doesn't happen. But they'll just kind of shake their heads and flap their wings, and it's so, when they really get going, Buster is the one who, I think he probably likes the bath the most. Mm-hmm. He's a little sleepy, so right now, so he's not really responding. But oh my gosh, every day we try to give them a little bit of a bath, and we've been taking them out of the cage mostly to do it, so that we don't end up getting things wet in there. But we'll just put a little towel on the ground, and we'll bring them out of their cage, and then just spray away, and they just they'll open up their wings, and they just wiggle around, and just you can tell that they're enjoying it. Mm-hmm. It's really fun.
Would you mind sticking the spray bottle into the frame just so people can
certainly
see? Because several of us today have talked about, that one, it has the hand pump top that pressurizes it, and then so it's not so hard on your hands to give them a spray bath. Yeah, very nice. Question from the audience: do they like scritches? And I believe it was Buster who had the broken wing, does he still fly after that?
Sorry about that.
There you
are. We're back. Yeah. So Deacon's the one with the who had the broken wing. Mm-hmm. He can fly probably, what would you say, like 4 feet, 5 feet or so on it. He can't go nearly as far. Buster can fly across the room, no problem. And he has, and Buster can land exactly where he wants. Mm-hmm. If Deacon tries to go too far, he might like bonk into the, side of the cage, or he might not exactly go where he wants.
So normally for Deacon, we'll just put our hands in front of him when we're bringing him back to the cage, so he doesn't just try to fly there and then miss.
I see. Yeah.
And so that was one question about the wing, and then
scritches.
Scritches. Yes. Okay. Maya, you want to answer that one?
So Deacon does not like scritches, and Buster normally will like scritches. He doesn't really like to be touched at all when he's in the cage, but when he's out of the cage, if you put like your hand near like the back of his neck, he'll just put his head down, and then you can normally give him scritches.
And you can see them now, they're interacting. They'll kind of, I just love to watch them. Look at them go. They're hilarious.
Yeah. Another question from the audience, and a reminder to everyone else, you can type more questions in the Q&A about these or any of the other birds we've met today. So what is their favorite genre of music?
They're not very picky. They love a lot of music. I think they like more like calm, like piano music. Mostly, and they'll normally fall asleep to it.
We'll play like rainforest sounds sometimes. They like that.
Yeah.
We tried playing like cockatiel sounds, and they were really like excited and kind of looking around and where are my people, and they kind of like all music.
So we're getting close to the end of our time. Is there anything else that you'd like to tell us about them, or any special needs that they have for their cage setup or medications or anything?
I will say they don't have any special needs, even though Deacon did have the broken wing. It's been fixed. It's still a little off, and it looks a little off, but it's perfectly functional, and nobody's on any medication. And then Maya, did you want to add something?
Yeah. As for like a last note, they're amazing birds. They're curious and like to interact with each other. But to hand tame them, you just need to be patient and have a lot of patience, because they won't be hand tamed right away. So.
Yeah. And if you adopt these guys, you will just prepare to spend lots of time sitting and watching them. They are absolutely a joy. Right now they're kind of tired, so they're not doing much, but they are interacting all day long. Oh, it's important to have 2 food bowls, because they will fight over the food bowls.
Yeah.
So it is good to have. And the food that we've been giving them is Harrison's pellets, and Dr. Harvey's makes cockatiel food that's like a combination of seeds and dried fruits and vegetables.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But they're fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Arnita and Maya. And it's really great to meet Deacon and Buster. And thank you very much. So,
our pleasure.